you'll hear them say all week long, it's not really the same golf course that we play in January that we're playing now in June. And so that's going to be, and you got to remember, in January they play 2 golf courses. This is just, they're playing the South Course at Torrey Pines, so it's going to be a whole different ball game.
That's
and it'll be fun to watch. It's always a good time to, much different facility than they normally see.
Much more difficult golf course. The South is in the North, and they play the South and North, and the Farmers Insurance Tournament in January, at least up until the weekend. Talk with Scott Prodebeck, the PGA head professional at the Flint Golf Club on Lesson of Golf on your Sunday morning. If you had to make a pick for the upcoming U.S. Open, based on who's hot, who's not, who do you go with?
Well, yesterday I think Jon Rahm was cleared to play, so I think he's got a little axe to grind. I'm going to pick Jon Rahm. He's won at Torrey Pines before. I like the way he's playing at the moment, so that's my pick for the week.
And I was absolutely flabbergasted. A guy like Phil Mickelson at age 50 could win a major championship when he won the PGA, really with room to spare a few weeks ago. Now, the lefty grew up in the area. He's played much of his young life playing that golf course. Still, I'd be surprised if he was a factor, but then again, I was surprised and shocked he was a factor and won the PGA. What are your thoughts on Phil?
Well, I think everyone's going to want to see how he responds after winning the PGA. He didn't play very well at Colonial, and he's taken a couple weeks off, so I really hope he does play well. I hope he is a factor. Odds are he probably won't, but again, he defied the odds at Key Island. I hope he does it again at Torrey and is in the mix throughout the weekend. It'll be a fun story.
All right, you got the holidays coming up, 4th of July in about a month or so, less than a month, and I imagine that's a huge weekend over at the Flint Golf Club.
It is. We have a couple events on the golf course for the 4th of July weekend. We've got Father's Day, obviously, coming up next week, and that's always a busy time here at the club. And then we've got some social activities going on with the pool and the kids, and junior golf starts next week. So we're right in the middle of everything here at Flint Golf Club, and it's a great place to come. And like I've always said, Jeff, and you've been up here, once you get up here and play it, you'll definitely want to come back. And having Mike DeVries as our architect consultant doing work on our golf course, there's some things that are going to be happening in the near future that's really going to take Flint Golf Club to the next level.
We'll look forward to that. What's the website one more time, please?
Sure, Jeff. FlintGolfClub.com, and you can go on our website and see everything we need to. You can also call Carol, our commercial director, at 810-743-6100.
Scott Prodebeck, Flint Golf Club, always a pleasure. Good stuff from you as usual. Have a great week.
You too, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you. The following segment is brought to you by Shanty Creek Resorts up in beautiful Bel Air. That's where we find our good friend, the PGA head professional at the Cedar River Golf Course, the first Tom Weiskopf design in the state of Michigan. Our good friend, Dan McGinnis, joins us now. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Jeff.
Doing great. The weather today up at Shanty Creek is what?
It's that beautiful northern Michigan morning we talk about all the time. Is that highs in the low to the upper 50s, but today we're going to reach almost 90 degrees today, and looking like a beautiful week as we roll forward to.
Always is. Now, before we get into the course itself, talk about the new course you just guys acquired this last year.
Yeah, we now have 90 holes up here at Shanty Creek. We always had the Legend, the Palm Design Legend Golf Course, which everybody kind of knows about. It's been around for 30-some years now. We've got the Cedar River Golf Course, which is arguably one of the top courses here in the state as well. The Summit Golf Course, which is a fun little track, as well as the underrated Shush Mountain. And then we just added the Hawkeye Golf Course as well, which is literally right next door to Cedar River. Great design, great layout. Very unique in its own way compared to the other 4 golf courses. It's been a lot of fun to have that on board, and everybody's really loving the Cedar River, or the Hawkeye Golf Course now as well.
All right, we don't focus as much on really one of the original Northern Michigan outstanding golf courses, the Legend by Arnold Palmer, mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's just over 30 years now it's been around up here, and it's one of the first courses that really put northern Michigan golf on the map. Palmer came in and did an amazing job with the layout. You got some great views, Lake Bel Air, and just a fantastic golf course. It's as good today as it was 30 years ago, too.
It does indeed, and the condition's always outstanding. I love the opening par 5 hole, which is really two good shots, strong shots. You can hit that green in two. It's kind of downhill, and number 2 is a real tough hole off the tee. But people talk about views in northern Michigan. I challenge anyone to find a better view in northern Michigan than standing on the 3rd tee of the legend overlooking beautiful Lake Bel Air. Tell us about that, Lake.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful golf course overall. But yeah, when you get to that 3rd hole and you're sitting up on the hill and you're looking down, and it's just a spectacular sight, especially on a nice northern Michigan morning like this too. If you're out there right now, you're really in for a treat. The course just gets better from there too. You roll down into the valley a little bit, and number 7 is one of the top holes in the state, a little par 5 with the creek winding along the side of it. It's just one good hole after another, and it'll beat you up and it'll reward you as well too, depending on how you're playing.
All right, the original Tom Weisskopf design, which you are the current PGA Head professional at, is really one of my favorite golf courses to play in the state. Tom's always known for at least one short par 4, drivable 4 par 4, and you certainly have one, and it's really a pleasure. But you know what's an underrated hole in that course? The following par 3, right after the drivable 4 par on the Cedar River Golf Course, an outstanding, gorgeous par 3 at Cedar River. Tell us about that one.
You know, it's a great little hole. I think it's our 18 handicap hole out here too, but it is, to me, it is the scariest tee shot I have to hit up there. And I only usually have anywhere from like a wedge to an 8 iron or 7 iron in my hand, depending on what the wind's doing. Because it's just a downhill little par 3, but it's one of those par 3s where if you miss it right, you're on the side hill. If you miss it long, you're in the river. You don't want to miss it left either. You get yourself in trouble there. So it's just a scary little shot on a little beautiful downhill par 3. But just a great little stretch of holes there, because after that short par 4, you get that par 3, and then my favorite hole is 15, which is a nice little dogleg left par 4, which is a beautiful green. It gives you all kinds of options to play into it. So it's a great little stretch of 3 holes right there that Weisskopf did. And like you said, that famous short par 4, it's what he's known for. So it's a lot of fun, that little stretch.
All right, got a pick for the U.S. Open before I let you go?
Dustin's playing really good again. I mean, I'm kind of the Dustin fan club president, I think. So to see him playing good this week, obviously, that's going to set up well for next week, I would imagine. So I'm not really going on a limb if I said him, but I like him. And Colin's playing good still, too. So to see Colin have some success, I think that could lead into next week as well, too. But if I had to take a chance, I'd probably roll the dice with Dustin again.
All right, we'll be watching. ShantyCreek.com, is that the website?
That is. You find everything you need right there.
All right. We will talk to you next week, my friend Dan McGinnis up at Shanty Creek Resorts. Thank you for your time. The following segment is brought to you by the beautiful Pheasant Run Golf Club. 27 holes of Arthur Hills Supreme Golf, owned and operated by the Township of Canton. Joining us now, General Manager, PGA Head Professional, Paul Simpson. Good morning, Paul.
Yeah, thanks for having me on this morning.
So we always begin with golf being in demand as much as it is. You run out of tee time so quickly at your great Art Hills design. The first question every week, do we have any tee times available today at Pheasant Run?
Actually, Jeff, there's actually a couple of twosomes available, and one at 1050 and then one at 220 and 330 or so. So, yeah, there are a couple available, but yeah, just small amounts and, still pretty busy.
Okay. So if people want to grab those twosomes available, they will disappear quickly, especially in a beautiful day like today with a high of 84 and sunny. Where can people book those directly online before they forget?
Yeah, go to golfprgc.org. Again, that's golfprgc.org.
All right, folks, it's always year after year Pheasant Run, one of the more popular destinations of all the visitors to lessonongolf.com, and I'm there at least once every year. I love the Yard Hills design, the mix of really holes you can think about birdie on. The ones when you get back in the wooded areas, there's a 3-hole stretch on one of the nines that's as challenging as any. And one of my favorite 5 pars in the state is hole number, I believe it's hole number 27 now, the par 5 risk reward over water, where the big hitters can take a shot at it, and 2 I no longer can do that, but it's nice to think about. Paul Simpson, tell us about that bad boy, please.
Yeah, it's a pretty good length par 5. Dog legs, water all down the right, as you mentioned. Out of bounds left, so if you kind of try to play safe and hit it too hard, you can go through the fairway and go OB. And it hooks around more than 90 degrees. So yeah, it's a really fun hole, and especially if the match is on the line, you can, you pick your line, and there's a real great opportunity to get home in 2 and probably guarantee yourself a birdie, or maybe even make it eagle. But you can also sink it in the water and make double bogey real quick too. So